Welcome back to the Free Idea Podcast of the world with more ideas for free. It's been always a while. And you know why? Because I'm all out of ideas and I had some and then they went away. That's what happens when I start prioritizing all this stuff. I had some really good ones. But no matter. I want to just talk. Random talk. And I want to say that Counter-Strike 2 on the PC is so good, and traffic in Austin is still as bad as always. I see a crash every day, and I don't see a single one in Counter-Strike. And that game, nobody tells you this, but it's actually a horror game. You think it's about like um competitive and casual, and boy, do they sweat a lot over there. But actually, it's a jump scare game all the time. You're picking a corner. I'm close. I'm ready. I'm ready for anything that might jump in front of me. Boom, headshot from the back of the head. Cause some dude spawned right behind me. And then I'm like on top of some boxes, ready to shoot at one direction. And I get the guy and boom, shoot him in the head. I jump scare him. And then 2.5 seconds later, I get shot to the left and die. This game This game is unjust in so many ways. Kill one, well, get ready to look behind you. You remember that in Call of Duty? Call of Duty had like a theory like that too. Every time you would aim, protecting a corner, nobody would show up. But the moment you take off your aim, for a split second, somebody appears and kills you in 0.3 seconds. I remember that. I remember that. Well, CSGO is very, very similar in the sense that you kill a guy, well, get ready to look behind you because there's going to be a guy right there. And when you kill him, get ready to look to your right or left because there's going to be one right there. It's worth mentioning that I've been playing the casual free for all game. It's pretty fun, pretty fun. I really got reminded of it just watching Peanut, best streamer in the world, the most entertaining streamer in the world right now. It's a Peanut. What else can I say? He drinks adult beverages and eats the most unhealthiest way. Did I mention that I tried it? I tried some of his pallets from Whataburger. His triple chicken ranch sandwich with the jalapeno sauce on the side. Oh my god, that thing is just pure acid. That thing, you're asking for a bad bathroom trip. Oh my god, that's spice on spice. And then a Voodoo Ranger to wash down. God, that thing, 9% alcohol, feels stronger than tequila. That thing could burn a hole in a gasket. Uh, Pretty fun life. Pretty fun life. Just take it for what it is. Very stressful life, but very fun life. Got a ton of stuff to do. The podcasting, it's one of those. So let me tell you about the drivers in Austin right now. In traffic, when I look to my left and to my right, to my fellow countrymen and countrywomen, I see the worst thing that you could see. Their head looking down at their phone and the car moving forward like if it's autonomous. But I know it's a 1994 Honda. The only autonomous thing there is your brain on brain rot. And that's dangerously happening more often than not. Look right here. Oh, I just saw my neighbor. The irony is that whenever I'm looking at my neighbor, I'm also not looking at the road. So take it for what it is. And you've been victim of it too. I've been victim of it too. But I try not to have it on my hand, but instead like hands free and just have it on the side. And like yeah, it's hard not to watch some TikToks and YouTubes when the traffic is like extremely slow turtle pace when you just like you don't even press the accelerator, you just press the brake. Let go of the brake, press the brake. That's the whole traffic. In that case, okay. It's okay. But when it's not okay is when we are actually driving for a good 15 miles an hour and people are on their phone. And then I see why there's a crash every day, Austin. Oh my god, like this guy right here, he just stopped in the middle of nothing. And thank goodness I was paying attention and we're not moving anymore. And I probably witness a crash right now. I hope not though. But okay. It looks like I didn't. But that was sudden. That was very sudden. Like the truck in front of me, a Silverado. Silverado. It just bounced from how hard it pushed the brakes. Like a low rider. Low ride. So yeah, that's how they drive. How do they drive in your city? Do they drive better? Are they scared of the police? Or like us, we just don't have enough police. Why does Austin not have enough police? Anyways, I've been thinking or watching a lot of videos on the fraud that's been going on lately on the hospice. That Nick Shirley that's been going around making YouTube videos. He goes to these places that are completely empty. It looks through the window and there's absolutely nothing in there. Barren rooms. And the parking lot is full of Teslas, BMWs, and the newest car with the most illegal tinted windows you'll ever see. And as soon as he started asking questions to the people and like looking around, everybody starts booking it out. And it's a fraud. They've been doing a fraud for hospice, hospice, the the spice that it's forbidden in your cake. And so they're all faking it, saying that they had like 100 something patients and they pull like 4 millions of buckaroonies to treat these imaginary patients. And they're banking it. They're banking all that tax money. And this was happening like in places. I think the most recent one was LA. Oh my god. The healthcare, such a scam, right? And now that I think of it, we always hear in the news and YouTube and independents, they would always say America is the number one spending in healthcare, and we have the number one worst health in the world. Um, now I see why. Now I understand why. We're number one like that because of fraud on spending, and then we're the unhealthiest because nobody can afford to go to the doctor. It doesn't mean that we're all going to the doctor and then being in debt. It just means we don't even go because we can't afford it. Like America is so America that you even have a doctor that you play on Zoom for like $50 visit, and then this doctor can just assign you whatever. It's kind of weird, super cool and modern because it's cheap and convenient. But anyways, it's weird. Doctors like you just send them a picture and you tell them your symptoms. They know what it is, and that's pretty interesting. One day, ChatGPT will be able to be our telehealth doctor. You bet. If we reduce doctors to a Zoom call with pictures, ChatGPT it's on its way to take their jobs. Uh-huh. You thought AI was gonna take the jobs of the laborer with a shovel. And the bus driver, no, 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 no. He's taking the big jobs first. He's taking those first. He's gonna take the smarty jobs first. Chad doesn't have arms and muscles right now. Maybe when it does, but even when it does, which is gonna take a while, it still has to battle the sun because the sun is gonna heat up that metal casing, and that battery is gonna blow. And that battery is not gonna handle the weather very good. The extreme cold or the extreme heat. Our battery technology is not there yet. Until we have nuclear battery powered robots, then maybe then we'll be able to replace uh, Jose with his 3 tortillas, a soda, and some salty peanuts. Until then, we will have them working in the sun. Nothing will replace Pedro. Nothing. Okay, okay. Two Mexican will never. Nothing will prevent Mr. Smith with his Mountain Dew and a bag of hot Cheetos. All right. Yeah, you thought I only had jokes for one race. No, no, no. No, no, no. Thought I never worked with white people or something? I do. Um, so yeah, the future. I forgot where I was going with this or where I was at all. It tends to happen. It happens. That's the day in the life of a 9 to 5. Well, I hate the 9 to 5 because it's so untrue, and all my millennials and Gen Z people and younger generation understands this very well. It's more like a 7 to 6. And if you really, really count the time that you woke up, it's more like a 5 to 7. Yeah, yeah. You wake up at 5, come home, arrive home, and all that good stuff. Get ready for home probably by 7. But if you count the traffic, that's 1 hour in, 1 hour out. Oh my god, that's not a 9 to 5. Even 9 to 5 don't exist no more. It's usually 8 to 5, if anything. You're lucky. But if you count traffic, it's more like a 7 to 6. Mm-hmm. 11 hours. 11 hours of worky dorky. Uh, it is how it is. It is how it is. And that's why, kids, that's why life is the way it is. I just working, man. I have no time for all this fraud. There's so much fraud. So that's where I was at. So, number one in spending in health, number one in unhealthiest country. Well, because of fraud. There's a lot of medical fraud. And I still haven't heard of anybody going to jail. Ain't that interesting? Very sad, too, that the person doing all this uncovering um, is not even getting help right now. I hope that changes sometime soon. But lately, the trend is that she's even kind of like made fun of by the Californian mayor or president. I don't know how the politics work because I have a 9 to 5. I don't have time to get into none of that. Um, it's very sad. But this is the age of noticing, as my younger generations will call it. We are noticing, and we are noticing very hard and very closely. And we will continue to notice until behavior improves. And that's it. We're just good at noticing. Wow. And then Austin has so much traffic, and I don't know what they're planning on doing with that bridge that leads to nowhere. I'm gonna call it right now. I bet you that bridge is not gonna uh, make traffic any better in the I-35. And I think San Antonio is doing the same. It just I don't think so. Because let's use logic here. If we're all going to the same place, it don't matter if we have 2 lanes or 10 lanes, we're all gonna end up going to the same place. Uh so we're gonna meet again, and that means traffic. So if we're all going to the club, um, it don't matter how we get there. Once we get there, it's gonna be a long line, and it's gonna be so long that the people that are trying to get there will reach the line before they reach the club. So very, very incredible. It's amazing how what logic can do in this world for humans. I recommend you study logic as much as you can, otherwise called common sense, which is not really common. Um, in fact, I believe the way you get it is by learning multiple random things and then making the connection between those, and that's how you get the so-called common sense. And you don't get it by learning one thing, although sometimes you do. If you learn one thing very well, you can use it for an analogy in everything in life. You hear it. It's like people that are into sports. They could just be like, life is like a ball. Gotta keep rolling. They just understand life from playing that one thing. So many ways to get there. But if you are out of options, can't afford school, never was good at it, never really interested in it, I recommend you study logic and common sense. You'll go wonderful, wonderful places just knowing that. And then you gotta study the act now so that once you have common sense and you can predict patterns, then you can act on them instead of just watching. Because nothing hurts more than knowing that something is gonna go one way and then doing nothing about it, and then it goes that way. And you're like, dang, I should have done the thing. I knew it was gonna happen. Nothing is worse than that feeling that you knew it was gonna happen and you didn't do the thing. So if you know it's gonna happen, then do the thing. Two things to study. Study when things are gonna happen and study how to do the thing. It's so dumb. It's so dumb, but I'm simplifying it as much as I can. It fits with everything. Isn't that amazing language? It's amazing how you can say a thing and everybody interprets it their own way. So like I don't know what you're thinking about, but I know that you're thinking, and that's good enough with me. I know that your brain is moving, those neurons are firing, and some are dying, but who cares? We don't look at those. We always look at the ones that live. Look at that, my neighbor in the left, phone, 2 hands, no hands on the wheel, left lane. Oh my god. What is that, a Nissan? Oh my god. And she's going faster than me. I'm going 14. She's 2 cars ahead of me now. She's probably going 20. And she's so close to the wall, by the way. Oh my goodness. We are ready for self-driving cars. 1,000% we're ready for them. We are ready for them. Not only are we ready, we are in desperate need for self-driving cars. And I'll be the largest advocate of that and the greenest avocado. We cannot have self-driving cars soon enough. We need them. I bet you as soon as we have them, crashes will go down and commuting distance will go up because people will not mind to do like an hour and 30 minutes anymore or 1 hour, 15 minutes. It'll be a little small. And maybe a little bit less quitting. Perhaps, because people would account commuting too much. It is weird why we just don't have trains. But whenever we're in the highway, the cars act like trains. It's just going to the same direction, like different cars in a train. Let me look at my right. Uh, let me look at my left. Okay, but she's a boomer, so she's two hands on the wheels, looking forward. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the younger people. Let me look at my left. Yep, boomers paying attention. Millennial to the right is paying attention. What about this Denali? Oh, that Denali looks like it has to be a boomer. Yep, drinking coffee. Look at that. Big difference. Boomers drinking coffee, two hands on the wheel. They're on, paying attention in the road. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Pay attention to that. Whenever you see the younger generation on their phone while driving. Hardcore. Hardcore. And then insurance is like, we charge younger people a higher premium. Well, I see why. And they're about to start to charge more. I'm actually curious as to another boomer to my left. Oh my God. And she's paying attention. You measure boomers by the amount of wrinkles in their cheeks. I laugh because I'm going there too. Don't you worry, we're all going there. And the amount of fat in their wrists. I don't know why that's a thing, but chubby forearms, that's a thing. I guess that's a thing when you start losing the youth or something in your body, not exercising much. It's hard to, it's very hard to there's a bunch of boomers next to me. I can't catch no one on the phone right now. It's pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, it's very hard to do exercise the older you get and the more children you get. It's like, oh my goodness. The only exercise you'll do is chasing your kids around and uh crouching to do the laundry. That's the only squat you'll do. And then watching your kids do sports, you'll feel like you're exercising with them, but you're not. You're not. And when you do practice with them, you think you're doing practice with them, but not at their level. They're the ones doing the work. You're just throwing the ball and chasing after it once a month. They do it every day. You know why? Because we don't get paid for it. But if we got paid, oh yeah. Imagine you got paid for every squat you did. You be getting paid every day. I'll be doing squats every day. I'll be like, how much is McDonald's? $8, 8 squats. How much is chalupa? 13 squats. Yep. Uh-huh. Wow, well, my neighbors right now are driving pretty well. Gee, we're all paying attention. Oh, that Jeep right there is way too close when it was braking. I bet you that's a millennial. And it has a thing on the wheel that says, I hate people. Yep, that's a millennial. Slash Gen Z, 1000%. So trendy to hate people. Oh my God, I hate people. Oh my God, yesterday over this weekend, I just hated people. What did you do this weekend? I hated people. It's so trendy. Don't you remember, my fellow listeners, when you used to have that teenager angst and teenager hate for the world and desperation and hope and motivation? And then you found out that we are frauding the hospice business and that we are at war with countries we can't put on the map. I remember that. I remember that. Remember when Golden Corral was a hit and there was buffets all over the country? I remember that. And after I did pest control for a good amount of time, and I still do, I stay away from buffets and Asian restaurants. Call me pattern recognition or prediction market, but I love their food, but I am very wary of going to any of those. By the way, I think it's legal now to say predictions, right? Prediction market, the new gambling. It's crazy. The mental gymnastics. Let me talk about that. That's a great topic. Dude, the mental gymnastics that I've been seeing lately are off the charts. I love it. I love it. Remember I told you about common sense? Well, this is the time to apply it. So gambling is illegal, right? But everybody does it. We all know like a little gas station, mom and pops that has a hidden room with a bunch of gambling machines. Um, we all know those businesses that are super obviously doing sketchy stuff with the mirrors all blacked out, darker than a car, than a Silverado in Texas. Um, and you know for a fact they're not doing anything that where the IRS gets involved, and you know what I mean. So gambling is pretty much legal by the vote of the people or the behavior of the people, but it's never been legal to televise it or advertise it until predictions market, which did the most mental gymnastics known to man to circumvent the written word of the law. And I haven't explored, but I know it's working. And now there's gambling everywhere, everywhere. Um, which is hilarious. And I bet you that you could even like rig them and use it for money laundering. I bet you because like all you gotta do is like predict, hey, this thing is gonna happen or not gonna happen, and then you put the thing money in it. All you could have a friend be in that area and then do the thing that you put money on to happen. Or you could talk to the person and be like, hey, yeah, I put a lot of money on you handshaking this guy, and I'll pay you a little extra if you do it for me. And you have a lot of people saying that. You gotta start watching these bank accounts and cash apps and whatever, but they're gonna start going up. You know what I mean? Eh, logic, common sense. When something is new and doesn't have rules, it'll get exploited. And I learned that by playing a lot of video games when they release. See, coming back to learn one thing very well and you'll be able to predict life and understand common sense. Video games. I learned them very well. New game, fresh game. Everybody jumps on it. Fun. They all find exploits and they all share the exploits secretly between friends. And eventually they get patched up. Oh no. Fuck. I did the wrong move. Oh, I did the wrong move. Oh no, I'm gonna get stuck here forever now. Jesus. Alright, right there, right there, right there. Woo! Accelerate to the max. Alright, that's what I'm talking about. There's a crash. Guess what? There's a crash in Austin. Nobody would have ever guessed that. And I somehow changed lanes to the lane that had the crash. Now I just changed over. Um, but I had to merge. You know how that goes. So prediction markets is one of those. The other one that is hilarious is the trigger, the fully semi-automatic weapons that CNN has been talking about for ages. Finally are here and they're real. So it's illegal to own an automatic a weapon. Very illegal for no known reason whatsoever. And the definition in the law is something like an automatic weapon is it's a thing that you pull the trigger once and hold it and it shoots multiple rounds. And so the engineers designed the trigger that you pull once and hold it, but every time the bullet shoots, the trigger resets and goes back to its original position. And then because you're holding it with your finger, it shoots again. And it repeats this as many times as you have bullets in the magazine. And so essentially, what you have is a trigger that is shooting one time every pull very fast. So fast that it looks automatic, but the way it works, it's semi automatic. Hilariously dumb. Mental gymnastics and engineering heads came together to make that happen. And what I find spectacular is that it just works against the law and it's legal with an L, not with an I, with an L. And yeah, it just works, my man. It works. So you have a semi-auto gun that shoots like an automatic gun, but it's not one by definition or engineering. Therefore, it's legal to own. It's called a forced trigger something, FTR or FRT. Uh, yeah, I just think it's amazing. All that to have and then the people make the joke that it's a fully semi-automatic weapon, which is the thing that you should just never made sense back in the day. It's either semi-automatic, which means once, or it's fully automatic. And this one it's a fully semi-automatic. It's the world writes better jokes than writers themselves, who are 8 hours a day thinking about jokes. Sometimes all you have to do is look at your screen and find out what the other world is doing. So we have predictions market for gambling, and we have uh, wars, triggers, semi-automatic weapons that are automatic. We are living in fun world, and I'm here for it. All here for it. It makes you think. Oh, and then this trigger is so goddamn expensive for no reason. $400 minimum. And it only works in certain guns that they've made it for, which is usually the AR-15 base of the gun. So, yeah, what's up with that, guys? What's up with that? Why are we playing with the law like that? There's something about us people that we're so natural, so natural to want to like I don't know how to say it, but it's like kids in school when the teacher would say, "Everybody, please stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance," right? And it's some smartass would like stand up, but at the same time sit on the top of the desk, but like leaning, and then you'll be like, "No, stand up straight," and then he'll be like, "But sir, I'm standing." "No, you're sitting." "No, sir, I'm standing." You know what I mean? We love playing with the words, sometimes just out of fun and spite. Like, hey guys, don't write your name on the right corner. And then some smart ass will write it on the left corner. And then be like, well, but I didn't do it on the right corner. I did it on the left corner. Then that's okay. What's next is what I'm wondering, and that's where my idea wants to build upon. For example, right now, so let's imagine we can just do this with everything, which it looks like we can. If we can legalize gambling and legalize automatic weapons, I feel like we're very close, at least one step closer to legalize drinking and driving. Here's my scenario. Officer stops a guy clearly with a bottle in his hand instead of a phone. What's the difference, right? And then he goes, "Sir, you know it's against the law to drink and drive, right?" And then the guy will turn to the cop and say, "But sir, I was driving and drinking." And the cop will go, "Oh, my bad, my bad. Please continue." And then he leaves. The action didn't change one bit, but the wording of it did. Um, you bet this is gonna happen. Once the cars start driving on their own, and there's no like or barely any input on the driver, the cop will be stopping all these cars full of people drinking, like absolutely everybody drinking. And then the guys in the car will be like, "But sir, we are not driving. We're just drinking and being driven." And the cop will be like, "Fuck my life. I'm done with this job. I'm done babysitting adults. I don't know why I signed up for this job. I am tired. It doesn't pay enough. I work over the holidays. I gotta do essays every single day. Anytime I arrest some dummy crackerhead." By the way, I say crackhead, not crackerhead, but uh, yeah, I guess we're in a free society now, so we can say slurs accidentally or something. Um, but I try not to because I try to be a good human being. But what's the thing that I was saying? Oh yeah, watch it. The next time is gonna be a Waymo, one of those cars that drive themselves completely, and there's absolutely no person in the driver's seat, and all three seats are gonna be full. There's gonna be people drinking hardcore on the back and passenger seats, and then a cop is gonna stop it and say, "Guys, you can't drink and drive." And the smart asses will say, "We aren't driving." And we're gonna get away with it. And then the law is gonna take a while to get patched up to do a hot fix after so many cops complaining. Uh, and then they'll say, "Guys, just no alcoholic drinks allowed in the car." And then guys are gonna get smart ass and they're gonna drink in the trunk of the car, of a self-driving car, and then say, "Well, but sir, there's no open bottle in the cabin of the car. We were in the trunk." Um, yeah, I don't know what kind of society we're rising up here, but police, it does start to look like they are adult daycare. I love Asmongold saying that phrase. It has caught up to me. Being a police officer is like adult daycare. Just gotta care for these adults. Um, adult daycare. One other thing that is completely legal will become legal. I think prostitution is one of those that happened a long time ago. They call them escorts, right? And they're technically not prostitutes, but you know that at the end of the day, there's a very high chance of getting lucky if you pay the right money or something. I don't know how that works. I don't know. Because that one didn't make it into the news as much as, or into the face of people, as much as the prediction market is doing. And then nicotine always makes a comeback too. It somehow, it used to be with vapes. Remember how cigarettes were illegal for young people? And then the e-cigarettes came out, and then all of a sudden smoking became legal for all ages. And then it kind of stopped. And now it's the new thing is the Sin packs and the Ultra packs. These things, these little pouches that you put on your lips, between your gums. Now, I don't even know if that has a restriction. I haven't even looked for it, but it's very interesting how this trends evolve. Uh, I don't know about alcohol. Will alcohol ever become legal for younger people? Perhaps, perhaps, perhaps. There might be a day that they come up with a really good mental gymnastics to allow people to drink alcohol of all ages. But I feel like that's not going to be anytime soon because alcohol is one of those that any human being on earth understands pretty well and pretty quick. Pretty quick. Gambling, you gotta like think about it. But alcohol, even if your IQ is below 30, you know what alcohol is. And if you drink it, you know what it does. And it doesn't take much to understand what it does. And everybody will at least have it or experience it once in their life. So it's super easy to understand that, some people at certain ages don't need it. Uh, I'm talking about like a 10-year-old. Like, that kid probably don't need to get It's like, what are you stressed about, bro? What are you stressed about? Do you have a mortgage already? Economy? What do you need to drink at 10 years old? But you bet it's gonna be tried. It's gonna be tried. I mean, I've wondered that myself. What if I drink a beer at work, but it's one of those 0% beer, 0% alcohol beer? Huh? Can I get away with it? Huh? What if I drink a 0% beer while driving? Will I try it? No. I think there's still a little bit of percentage in that, even though it's zero, but there's still a little bit of alcohol. I wouldn't try it to find out, but uh, you know, what's something else that it's highly illegal? I think killing people. I think that might be hard to do some mental gymnastics on that, but who knows? You know, we might be able to be like the. I mean, I bet you there's like all the lies under the sun have been told in the courtroom about murdering people. Sir, I didn't shoot him. He pressed his body against my bullet that I just preventively shot in that direction. Sir, I didn't stab him. He just walked right in through my knife. Sir, 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 um, I threw the knife at the wall and it bounced into the uh trampoline, and then it bounced into the ceiling, which then bounced straight into his heart, uh, cutting right through two ribs. Still had a lot of leftover force that it went through his body and then bounced on the wall back into his back 30 times. Sir, I wonder how many crazy lies has the courtroom heard. How many crazy excuses. And then just because the law works in a mysterious way where words have to be very specific, almost like you're enchanting a magic trick from a wizard. Uh, People get away with the most random excuses. I bet you. I bet you they get away with some of the most random excuses like those. Well, Your Honor, we don't have enough evidence to say that the knife didn't bounce 30 times. Like, it could have happened. You never know. We don't have video or audio or anything. It could have very well happened. And then the judge goes, hit my job. He gets it right. According to the words in page 314, you cannot jail somebody without any ounce of evidence. Hmm. Yep, you're free to go. Productive member of society that will definitely 1,000% not come back to this courtroom in less than 3 months. So, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. Only if they watch the news. What else could we get away with? Uh, well, actually, yeah, that's a very common phrase, right? Getting away with murder. Oh, yeah. The O.J. Simpson was one of those that was pretty odd one, but I'm not sure if it fits this example very well, but it can. It just touches, it just kisses a little smooch over what I'm saying. A little smooch. Little bits of a smooch. Little one. Because it does uh, look pretty obvious, right? But if the gloves don't fit, you can't quit or something like that. Oh, where's the Dougie firefighter? Um, yep, that's it. So, why do I delve into these topics? I don't know. It's just what's out there right now. It's what's out there in the news. I don't particularly choose to be negative or dark. I guess it's just what I gravitate towards when it comes to odd stories or something. Oh, just gonna park here real quick. Real quick. Very, very quick. Nice, 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 nice little parking spot. Yeah, thank you for another nice time of me talking to you about the most random ideas that I can think of. Remember, they're free, and you're not paying anything for it. I'm paying for them. I'm paying for them right now with cash, and maybe I'll pay for them in the future in some other way. Um, but nothing in life is for free. Somebody's paying for it. And with that said, thank you very much for listening. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Survive out there. Enjoy what you can. Enjoy your struggles and your work and your food and drink and your beautiful, wonderful partner. And you probably thought that I was talking about wife and husband, but some of you guys don't have that, but you have nice, good friends. I enjoy those too. Bye.